There's a common idea floating around, the post-labor economics. That's the idea that AI will replace all jobs, uh, but I just don't buy it. This is not what I see on the field. This is absolutely not what happened during, if you study the history, this is not how things happen. So I will try to deconstruct the whole thing. Obviously, I have tremendous respect and about people that working on this theory or this idea of post-labor economics, but I this is just not the reality of things, and we kind of need to deconstruct what it's all about and what happened when AI will be fully adopted. What the society will look like, and we also need to look at history because I think all of those people that working on this idea of post-labor economics, AI that will replace any jobs, and there will be a jobless society. Um, I don't think they really learn from history because history shows us that this is not what happens. And myself, I'm in contact with multiple, business leaders and also multiple individuals, and I'm quite well involved, and I see what is happening with AI. And this is not what is going to have. Like, I mean, there will be even more jobs when AI will be adopted than less jobs. So let's just deconstruct the whole thing. So as usually, I will just put myself aside here. There we go. So if we look at, if we look just at history, I mean, historically, every major tech revolution increased human capability. I mean, whatever it's, printing press, in the, where we had the Renaissance, basically, or the first industrial revolution when we had those steam engines that have been able to power all those factories, and we had huge automation of textile. Ultimately, textile became widely available. And then we have a second half of industrial revolution with electricity. That's actually the picture of the Chicago Fair, at the end of the 19th century. This is the first time that, kind of a portion of a city was illuminated with electricity. And it's interesting because they call it the magic, I think in one of the articles, they call it the magic city. I mean, it's like for us, yeah, it's kind of magic because it mimics the cognitive abilities of humans at the time, eliminating the whole well, the whole, at least a portion of a eliminating basically a couple of streets. It's not a city, it's just a small portion, was kind of magical to see. So, and we see even with the aviation revolution. I mean, that's always very few people talks about it, but when you could move from one continent to another within one day, it changes a lot of things. Okay. And lately, obviously, we have this internet revolution. So, I mean, historically, every major revolution increased human capability. Now, when our capability increased, so do our desires and expectations. We don't want, well, in reality, we don't want less. We want more. And, but this time, people will say, Ilya, I agree with you, but this time with AI, it's different because AI will automate human cognitive abilities and all the white collar workers, and we're gonna be useless. Basically, AI will take all the jobs. Well, you see, that's where things are quite that's where I pretty much I don't agree, because technology doesn't really by itself technology people are saying technology create jobs. No, technology doesn't create jobs. Technology gives us new capabilities. That's what it does. But once we have new capabilities, then we have new desires and expectations. And all of that create new needs that needs to be kind of, satisfied. And that's where the demands come. And where there's a demand, there's supposed to be an offer. And to create that offer, well, we need people, we need jobs. And so my third point on that is that, new human needs will emerge with every shift. That's happened with the printing press, that happened with electricity, that happened with aviation, the revolution of traveling from one continent to another, to connecting all the continent together with aviation, basically, with airplanes, basically. And it did happen with the internet. With the internet, we created like completely new industries. The whole service sector that we know right now, it's internet based, basically. Um, so when it comes to the human needs, we're talking about emotional support, meaning, unique experiences, and all of these are deeply human and can be outsourced to machines. It just doesn't work like that. So AI AI will automate a lot of our tasks, a lot of repetitive activities. AI handles all problems, as we will know them. But new tech always create new problems. And new problems means new opportunities, means also new demands. And if you couple this with new desires and needs, then you have a completely new industries, and those industries will require humans, because at the very fundamental level, what is an economy without humans? It's not an economy. It's an automated system, and an automated system will become just an automated system. It doesn't work. I mean, it becomes a commodity on a certain level. Um, and once a commodity, well, human tend to invent new needs, new desires, and you have new industries that will require humans on some level. It will be very different from what we understand right now, but there will be. That's how things work. So my fourth point is that AI handles new problems, but new tech always create new problems, and therefore there will be new industries. So no, I mean, I don't believe we're headed toward a world without labor. That's just not gonna happen. We're going to automate some of the human activities. Um, One of the examples that is happening right now is programming. We had a kind of a short period, an exceptional, you know, time where we had a huge demand in software, but at the same time, we didn't learn, or we didn't have anything to automate the programming of softwares. So we had a huge demand for developers, because somebody needs to, write manually the code on which a software will operate, or basically, to write the software itself, or the app, or whatever you call it. So that was an exceptional time, between, mid 2000s to late 2010s. But today, I mean, AI is more and more involved, and we see that AI is capable to write code. Obviously, I mean, AI writing code, but a software still need to be designed. Um, we need to have some level of creativity when it comes to user experience. Do I think that the creation of software will be completely automated? No, because you still just the software will become a little more sophisticated. Instead of putting energy, time on manually program a piece of software, we were gonna focus on how to improve the user experience, how to design it better, how to make the software connecting easier with a human. Obviously, AI will help us. It will give us some versions, some simulation. It would simulate some user experiences. But ultimately, I mean, we will have to initiate, we will have to supervise, we will have to take responsibility for that piece of software or for this app, and come up with creative ideas. Some of the inspirations will come from AI, some of it will come from humans, and I think it will be a symbiosis of two together. So no, I don't think it's gonna replace labor, even within the software industry, for sure. So I believe we're headed toward a world where human creativity and expression will matter more than ever, and we'll have two type of individuals: the consumers and a lot of producers of creative ideas, and creative elements within this, our society. Yes, I mean, AI could imitate creativity. It could synthesize. It could kind of offer suggestions. It could simulate a lot of things, but the very often the imperfections is was it what makes the world great, and the imperfection is not something that AI is comfortable with, but human is much more comfortable with. So I think there will be some kind of a symbiosis between AI and human labor, and I see the creation of new industries. And it's simply, when you look at history, you see that AI will not, like, every technological revolution, you know, created new problems, new challenges. Whether it's agricultural and mechanization, when you had tractors, but tractors need to be maintained, they need to be produced. So we need people at the factory, we need floor, we need engineers. There's a lot of things that kind of happens each time we have a technological revolution. And the idea that all some jobs will be automated, maybe obviously the programming, the programmers, the developers, but even the developers, you still need to have technical people on some level. They're probably not gonna write code, but they will contribute when it comes to the solution architecture, or some technicalities that you need some level of understanding. So it's not black and white, obviously, but each time you have this cycle or this technological change, uh, new needs create. One of the examples, actually, before I'm gonna wrap the whole thing up, is the at the start of the 20th century, somewhere in the 1900s, usually a man had two shorts, and people were afraid because it was basically the second half of the Industrial Revolution, and there was like a overproduction of textile, of clothes, and people were really afraid that there will be an overproduction of textile. Um, so if obviously, even we didn't have the overproduction of textile. Basically, our needs evolved, and today I'm sure you have more than two shorts in your closet. We have a variety of clothes for a variety of occasions, in a variety of things, a variety of seasons, you have more than two shorts. So our needs evolve. You know, each time we have new capabilities, each time we have new opportunities, and it's not gonna end with AI. That's for sure. So the whole idea about post-labor economics, I mean, I think it's just not gonna happen, unfortunately. Um, like, and I don't have anything against people that are working on those ideas of what will happen if there will be no more jobs. Because you'll see once AI will be adapted, fully adapted, there will be an emergence of new industries, and those new industries they will require people. And I think the problem that we will have is the lack of people because demographically, you know, our population doesn't increase. The birth rate is dropping. So I don't see, I just don't see like a lack of jobs. I see basically not enough people to work on all of those jobs to basically contribute to the economy and not only fulfill the jobs that are right there, but also create new companies and new businesses. And this is something that we need to think about it, obviously. So on that, you know, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas, any comments, or anything you want to add to this discussion, please leave them in the comment section. Like, subscribe as usually, and I see you in the next one.